Hey guys, welcome back to the WODdoc Project 365, episode 1054. Guys, if you're following along on YouTube, please jump on over to thewoddoc.com. Check out all of our full-length videos. That's where we house them. Well, we just finished up with East Regionals 2017. Amazing event. Saw some amazing athletes performing very difficult tasks. One of the tasks that they have introduced this year was kettlebell deadlifts. Now, of course, it was with a lot more weight, but I'm going to be able to show it to you with much lighter weights. Often, when we watch our favorite athletes go and perform these tasks, we try to replicate them. So I'm going to give you some tips for dumbbell deadlifts if you're trying to replicate some of these movements, or if you're doing them, or even if you're a regional athlete, just some things to keep in mind, okay? First and foremost, the biggest thing here is body position, okay? Now with having a kettlebell, we no longer need to navigate our body or navigate the bar and move our body around the bar, right? So we can bypass that whole thing. An optimal position to be able to do this is going to be a little bit more squatty. So in a typical deadlift position, my shoulders are way up over in front, and that allows the bar to move straight up and down as I move through the movement, right? I'm moving myself around the bar. In this position, I can get my butt much lower, and I can be able to grab in this position where I'm going to be in a little bit more advantageous position to move the weight straight up and down. So here's the first thing that you want to be able to look at is the width of these kettlebells. It's not something that I can put out super wide because, of course, gravity is going to want to push them straight down. So if I was to lift up the kettlebells, wherever I was to be able to hold them and put them back down, that's how wide they're going to be. So you can see that my stance is going to be much more narrow. I can't bump my feet against these kettlebells because then they're going to bump my legs in the way up and the way down. So I almost have to be even closer than would be comfortable for myself, okay? So that's the first thing is you have to get used to this very narrow stance, right? The second thing is when I look at this, and I put it in this position, right, I give you that profile view, what you're going to notice is I have the weight more towards the back or mid portion of my foot. It's no longer right in front of where my shins would be. Why? Because I can move it posterior because I no longer have to move the weight or the bar around my body or my body around the bar, so to speak, right? So I'm going to allow the weights to be much more posterior, at least several inches, than they would be when I was doing my typical deadlift. And then it allows me to now, instead of my butt being up like this, my butt to get down much deeper and to get myself into a more advantageous position to support the weight, okay? From right there, everything is exactly the same. Although I'm going to be doing a little bit more of a squatty movement, I'm still going to push through with my hips and drive that horizontal portion of the deadlift, okay? So, just to keep in mind, we want to think about being a little bit more posterior, okay? And we want to make sure that we're used to this very narrow stance, okay? So if you can get used to the narrow stance and we can move those weights posterior to take advantage of the position or take advantage of the situation that we no longer have to move ourselves around a barbell, you'll be absolutely fine with these movements, okay? Go ahead, try those out. Any comments or questions, please post them below. And until tomorrow, we are optimizing function to optimize performance.